Well, welcome back here to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The engines have fired, and we're going to release them onto the racetrack here for your Master Shifter category. 3 races remain here from SKUSA SuperNationals Super Sunday Kart Chasers live coverage presented by Don't Sleep Energy Drink. Jordan Musser, the Texan on the PSL Karting Bureau Alert, has had one heck of a weekend here in Las Vegas. He's been fast, but a little bit of luck always helps as some bad gremlins hurt overall top qualifier Davide Forné and handed Musser the opening front row pretty much by himself on row 2 and the inside lane starting spot for row number 1. He was able to capitalize, sweep both heat races Friday, another good heat on Saturday night, and he lines up on the pole here for the main. Alongside him, with the man that the Magic Kart boys call Thor, the captain of the ship there, Robbie Boydishow, will complete the front row with Brian Keck in the GFC on the inside of row number 2. Alongside him will be Antonio Pizzonia Jr., who has methodically cut his way up the grid there on that Orsold Racing Bureau Alert to 4th.
Vincent Cossard and Larry Pigram go from row number 3. Antoine Irigo on row number 4 alongside AJ Naud. Michael Goshen, Jonathan Vitolo round out your top 10. Victor Jimenez and Davide Forné on row number 6. Joe Rook and Scott Presti are up next. Brian Chatfield and Robert Feig round out your top 8 rows of the grid. Rob Howden.
I would keep an eye on John Crow back in the 17th spot as well. The Crow Show can get the job done. He'll be coming forward. Leo Kirsch's alongside him. And then we've got Frank Runco and Patrick O'Neill rounding out the top 20.
Yes, and when you said about the Crow Show, that was an affirmative, a nod from Mike Smith as well. Justin Kelly and Jeff Mills are up next. Then it's Sam Beswick and starting 24th, Captain America, Derek Wang.
Pro Tour champion Luis Quiñones starting on the inside of row 13 alongside Nigel Cochran in one of the Catalyst entries. Then Ken Schilling and Marcin Kloda.
On the inside of row number 15, the leading edge motorsport driver Daniel Paras from El Salvador. Then Randy Nelson, Don McGregor, and John Baldassare. That's your 16th row of the grid.
Go back to Luis Quiñones and Brad Danoff, David Jones, Luis Gauthier, Armando Watson, Rusty Lingle, David Delatorre, and Will Lynn capping off your top 40.
So these are the drivers that are 30 years old and above. There's more of them. Levi Bennett, ex-La Liga professional soccer player Ruben Milan, Cameron Castles, and Daryl Tunnell.
Tail of the field, keep going to Tiffany Kelly, Chris Salutis, and Skitchy Barnes. 3 straight top 10s, 2 straight podiums. Skitchy Barnes has had nothing go right all weekend. He is starting at the very tail of the field. We will keep an eye on Skitchy. I'm thinking potentially top 15 with some chaos top 10, as we know the speed he will have. A little bit of trouble there for Jordan Musser, not quite getting into the right grid spot there. They'll push him back and make sure he needs to be where he is. That is Jordan Musser in that 6'11". He'll roll himself where he needs to be. Kind of missed it a bit coming into the line. But again, here we go with a couple of big guns up front. Jordan Musser, multi-time American champion, SKUSA Pro Tour, you name it. He's won it except for this race here. And on the outside, Robert Boudachot in the Magic Kart. His debut as a Masters driver here at the SuperNats.
Yeah, and I got to say, the messages keep flooding in to say hi to everybody. And I know that you have to excuse me for a minute, my karting wife, Anthony Jordan from the UK, will get very upset, and a lot of the British drivers here know Anthony. But now, hand in the air, and that is a problem, and that's not something you want to see. And the driver can't see on the outside row of the grid. The corner worker very, very quickly there, just trying to get that kart refired. And at the back of the grid, the signal's been given to clear.
Yeah, field is set. Everything's set to go. They're just trying to get this one driver to see if they can't get him refired and back into position. Somebody on the outside might be Jimenez. I don't think it's Forné. Field set, though. They got him refired. Refocus your guys. Here we go. Green, green, green. And a hole shot for Jordan Musser. Boudachot slides right in the back, though. Musser getting off the line, cleaning. Now the run down to turn number 1. Boudachot going to throw it in there. Way around the outside goes Pizzonia. Way to run the outside on the cushion.
Great start there. They were finding out 4 and 5. Why that explosion of noise and colour. But it's Musser who's got the lead back. Pizzonia is third. Boudachot is up in the P2. Oh, and there's one of the Maranellos. The 6.53. That is Joe Rook in the barriers.
Joe Rook was having a good weekend. To go into the corner like that, you got to figure he had a bit of help. Big bump coming in. Look at Boudachot trying to go down and diamond it off a little bit, but a big bump entry. We'll talk a little more about that. More chaos further back.
Looks like we talk about Boudachot going in there. We saw him take a different line than everybody else there early in the race in one of the heat races where he kind of crosses over it. He's obviously really good under the left foot. Sucks right up to the back end of Musser, but then Musser screams off the edge. Pass on the inside coming right here.
Yeah.
That's Pizzonia.
Yeah, Pizzonia to the inside, very aggressive on the start. Instead of stacking it up on the inside, he ran all the way around the outside, got the Kart to rotate, back on the throttle from 5th all the way around to 3rd on the opening lap, put himself right on the rear bumper of Budisho coming through the corner. Other drivers making big moves early. I believe the number 5, Davide Forné from 12th up into 7th. Same goes from Scott Presti as well. Henry, he goes from 14th to 9th.
Yeah, and Presti is going one way. Unfortunately, it's not been a great couple of laps for the Maranello USA team because Brad Danoff has just had a spin as well. Davide Forné, 49 years young from Brescia in Italy. There he is, the 692, one of the best to ever sit in a kart, and they're 2 wide going into turn number 3. I thought we said that overtaking was going to be tricky in the shifter class. Not so.
Remember, Forné was fastest in qualifying. We've got fresh tires on these things right now, and he was really, really good early in those other heat races. Forné, watch out. He's going to be in the front very, very quick.
Here's one thing, though. You see, Jordan Musser has been able to develop a little bit of cushion. He does not have to worry at all about anybody behind him. A quick look over his shoulder, realizing he's got that gap. Musser leading across the line by almost a full second. Fastest driver on the racetrack right now, Scott Presti, back in the 9th position. He's worked his way from 14th to 9th, but laid down a 42.950.
Budisho just sent one in from a different zip code going into turn number 1 and got it all crossed up and lost second place. It's Pizzonia in second.
Yeah.
Musser's getting away.
But Pizzonia came out of turn number 2 and he gave the old Italian, what are you doing? He's like, listen, we need to be trying to catch this guy and not dive bombing me. So I don't think Pizzonia super happy with the aggression of Budisho.
We see the single speed guys, they work together by pushing. Working together here is not fighting.
So listen, we talked about the start there. Musser able to get cleanly, but it was a great run around the outside for Pizzonia. Watch how he takes turn number 1. Here's the restart.
Yeah, why go down the inside when you can roll the... Look, he almost gets past Musser going in. Carries it really, really wide. Look at all the speed he's able to carry from 5th to 3rd. Pizzonia, brilliantly done. And Nate, that's how you get through there without being in the mess.
Oh, let me just tell you this right now, out of the gate. We talked about Skitchy Bard starting from the tail of the field. I said maybe 15th, maybe 10th. How about up 21 positions over the first 4 laps? He is up into 26th right now for 47th. What a start for Skitchy Bars.
Is there a shortcut somewhere? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
Well, listen, here's a guy that loves street races. Rock Island won many times there. Loves road racing as well. This is a street circuit with a road racing back straightaway.
And there's Davide Forné giving a signal there. He was giving Vincent Cossard the signal saying, no, you follow me, we go to the front together.
Well, Forné is rolling here up to 4th, 8 spots up. The question was, how quick was he going to get? Look at that! Gets to the inside, gets around Budisho, and slams the door to make sure he get it.
Might have been a little help on that one coming down. I'm sure we'll be able to get a replay of that pass when we can from Forné. I think he might have got into the back of Budisho a little bit on the entry to turn number 3, tucked it back down the bottom. The other driver we said to watch out for was John Crow. Just went purple last time by, 17th up to 11th. The Crow Show on the move.
Yeah, he's going to need a lot of action going on in the front for him to get back in the game. But look, fastest this time by Jordan Musser, and personal best all the way down, even with those passes.
And almost 2 seconds up on the field.
Now, you were saying earlier, Rob, how many times has Jordan Musser won this year compared to how many times he won a SuperNats?
Well, again, we didn't really have much master shifter. He really hasn't raced hardly at all this year, but has done the testing that he needed to do. That's the thing.
So, if Musser wants to win this race, he's going to have to beat an ex-Formula 1 driver and one of the greatest drivers to ever step foot in a go-kart.
That's exactly that. Let's have a look at that replay. We talked about the pass I wanted to see. This is Forné, Mike making a move down into 3.
Look, he's back by a full kart length, sends it down the inside. That was a big, big move. But look, trying to close the door on the outside is Budisho. That little bit of contact. See the car hop up. At that point, doesn't have any drive when the tire's in the air. It's going to be up 1 for Forné.
So not contact from the back, but maybe a little bit of a hip check coming through the corner as Forné goes purple again. Now he's got to go to work on trying to find a way by Antonio Pizzonia Jr. They're back by 2.1 seconds. Musser laid down a 42.7. Forné a 42.4. 3/10 quicker, but 2.5 seconds back. And let's see whether Forné has a move to the inside. Davide Forné, book it in the inside of turn number 9.
You see how Pizzonia couldn't get out of the corner. He was like he couldn't quite get the gear he wanted to, so Pizzonia back a couple of kart lengths. Forné rolling. Hey, he just passed and set the fast lap at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. 2.3 seconds back. Henry, he was 0.2 quicker last time by. 12 laps to go. The math puts him on the rear bumper on the final lap.
Absolutely, and all the young drivers, all the direct drive drivers who have got aspirations to race shifter karts, you need to stand and watch. Number 692, watch a master at work. I mean, I'm saying this, watch a master at work. Musser is the master at the moment. He's 2.3 seconds up the road, but we're going to see the lap times now from Davide Forné.
Forné, obviously a master and knows how to make things happen on low tire pressures, but did he go just a little bit higher knowing that he needed to make hay right away? Musser, on the other hand, he probably could have kept him pretty low. Again, Forné, fastest of the race, over 3 tenths.
Yeah, over 0.3 of a second with 11 laps to go, only 1.9 back, 2 seconds back. That's about 7, maybe 8 laps, and he'll be there. So we're talking about him arriving on the scene with just a couple laps to go. Forné continues to push. Musser is your leader, though. Pizzonia third, but Budusho in fourth, Keck fifth, Cossard sixth, Presti seventh, Pegram, Jimenez, and Hidalgo, your top 10.
Crow is next. The Crow Show still there from 11th. Then it's AJ Now. Gauche, Fige, John Baldassare from 32nd to 15th. Justin Kelly, Runco, Quinones, Lingle, Chatfield, Skitchy Barnes up 26 places to 21st.
Yeah, 21st spot for Bermuda's own Skitchy Barnes. He is working hard. There he is right there, I believe. That's Barnes. No, that's Budusho. They're both on the Magic Kart. Trying to see if we'll pick up Skitchy a little later. But again, he's having a good run, his best run after a really rough weekend.
Yeah, the fight we were looking at right there, it is a heavy one. It is a fight for third. That's Pizzonia, Budusho getting after Keck in that conversation as well, because the only person that has a shot at Musser is Davide Forné, purple once again.
And he goes purple, but maybe more crucially in the storyline is that Musser keeps going faster as well. Yeah, he's not quite as quick as Forné, but he's trying to put the good laps up. This time he doesn't do it on lap 11, goes to a 42.6, 2 tenths off, and I think it's one of those deals with Forné. He can start to smell the blood in the water. He knows how close he is now. 1.4, 9 laps to go for Jordan Musser to try to get that elusive SuperNationals win.
Pizzonia is going in the wrong direction. The Brazilian driver for the Orson Sport team, he's fallen behind Budusho. Budusho put a good move on there on that Magic Kart. The Magic Kart team, there were two members of the team had a wedding yesterday. They got married here at the circuit, Mr. and Mrs. Cunningham. They'll be cheering on Budusho along with the rest of the Magic Kart team. Keck, then Cossa, Presti, Pegram, the ex-Superbike driver, Iligo on the Sony car, and then the All-American unit, factory kart unit, John Crow.
Over 2 tenths quicker than last time. It's down to 1.1 with 8 laps to go. Davide Forné hunting his prey, which is Jordan Musser, although Musser needs to find a little bit more. There's got to be something in. I guarantee you Musser's got somebody in the fence saying, you got to go. He is coming. You know that they were worried about Forné, and they've got the signals to tell him that he's on the way.
Hey, catch him is one thing, pass him is another, and these veterans know that. I'll tell you right now, you're not going to have a harder guy to pass than Jordan Musser after the week he's had, been up front the entire time. He's had the spot to lose, and right now it is his win to lose.
9 tenths of a second now, the gap between first and second. Another 3 tenths of a second closer for Davide Forné as he's closing up. It's about 4 or 5 kart lengths now. They're in the same screen. This is the battle, 7 to go.
We have had a number of races with multiple contenders for the victory. Groups of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, heck, 8, 9, 10 drivers. This race is mano a mano. This is man and machine at its finest. You cannot miss an inch. If you miss an apex by an inch, bang, you're in the barriers, you're out of the race. Forné is on the hunt.
This is the race that Musser wants to win. He's won many times as a U.S. Rotax final. He's won many championships of SuperKarts USA. This is the one he wants. There's the battle further back between Keck and Budusho. But we're talking about Jordan Musser having to put down the best 6 laps of his life to hold off a former world champion in Davide Forné. 42.34 to a 42.57. 7 tenths of a second the gap, but right now call it 2 kart lengths.
2 kart lengths, and we already saw Forné make the job done from 1 back, so he doesn't have to be right on the back bumper. He could be within about 1. It's not going to happen in turn 9 this time, but it could happen down in turn number 1.
5 to go, and they get back around, and Forné has worked his way forward. He's been clipping into what was a 2.2-second lead at one point, and Musser is the leader. Forné, both these drivers, not a head move as they work their way down the straightaway. Forné looking to try to line things up. He'll go to the outside. Do we see a move already? No, but he is there. Musser's going to know it, and if he does eventually get by, was Musser have anything to fight back? Big run out of turn number 1 for Musser. It's almost like Forné threw it deep into the corner, couldn't get it to rotate.
He just barely kissed the curb as he came around there, and that could be all the difference. You get that little left rear on there, you don't have the power. There goes Musser. First time that we haven't seen just the forward progress from Forné.
One thing I noticed, when they come into these bumps now, look, Forné's kart looks far more stable over the bumps than Musser's kart. He runs a little bit wide there coming out of turn number 9, but yeah, he's got his head down. He's in the slipstream as they go up through the gears, down the main straight, nearly 100 miles an hour as we start lap number 17. He takes a wider line in. Are we going to see a move to the inside? Not this time. Musser's got to cover. Musser has to defend from here on in.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's still going to run that wide line. It's about 4 car lengths, but you see under the brakes, I think Forné going a little bit deeper into some of the corners here. Not quite there, able to do it in turn number 4, but he has most definitely arrived on the scene. This is one of the best master shifter drivers, probably the best master shifter driver ever in the history of American master shifter car driving. This guy's an absolute badass. You got to throw Darren Elliott into the conversation there. So here he is. There's Forné making the move. They're going to go side by side. Forné makes the move to the bottom. He'll have a better run out. Musser's going to have a feel for it now. Contact mid-corner. What do you think about that, Mike?
Yeah, he was in there. It was late, but it was in there, and he got even right before the turn in. A little bit different line with shifters. They don't arc it in as much. It's more straight point and shoot. Forné got the job done. Musser, time to hit the burners, buddy.
I don't know if he's got enough. Jordan Musser, who's been perfect all weekend long. One of the reasons why is there's been issues for Forné. One of them not starting the second heat race due to an issue with the, I believe, the gearbox or something. But he has got Musser on him. Forné is taking the lead. A big pass on lap number 17, working lap 18 right now. It'll be 2 to go this next time by. Does Musser have anything left in the tank? It doesn't look like it. Forné pulling away by another length.
Musser's kart looked like it was pretty upset over that second bump as well.
Let's have a quick look at the replay of the pass. Mike, walk us through it.
Rolling down to the inside. Look, he's almost 2 car lengths back, straight in there. Look, he just went evens with him. He didn't even try to arc into the corner. He just went evens, matched Musser in there, and Musser was just stuck with a 4A to the inside.
We're back with 1 lap remaining when they come back around. Henry, thoughts?
Musser's going to be frustrated. He half defended. He didn't plant it on the inside to make Davide go around the outside, and he didn't maximize his corner entry by taking the wide line. He thought about it and just sort of dawdled to the inside of the track there, and he's going to get one more lap, but in the words of Robert Palmer, I think Davide Forné is simply irresistible.
I'll tell you this right now, for the first race of the day, we're not going to have much of a challenge, I don't believe. In the end, you can see the gap that Davide Forné has been able to develop. Put the laps down, nailed it in qualifying to go P1. Jordan Musser was right there. He took full advantage of any issues that there were. Musser's going to potentially come up just short once again as Davide Forné, the former world champion, going to put a SuperNationals win potentially on the books. Couple more laps to go. The ITAL kart driver out of turn number 6 to turn number 7. Forné looking to get the job done. He'll come out of the final corner. Musser, there's nothing he can do. And Davide Forné will win on Super Sunday here in 2023. Forné the winner. Musser second. Brian Keck third. Robert Boudachot in fourth, and Vincent Cassard, is he going to be able to come through? No. Antonio Pizzonia Jr. steals it away from Cassard in the final circuit. Pizzonia ends up P5.
What a roller coaster from Forné, right? I mean, with having the kart not start, with having the issue where he has to go back a spot from the pole. I mean, he has been up and down, but we knew when it came to Super Sunday, Forné was going to be right at the front.
Davide Forné going to enjoy it there. A little bit of a celebration. He's not sure where he's going right now. Driving around. Turn it back around, Davide. We're over here, bud. He'll spin back around, hopefully, and bring it back over unless he goes all the way around again. Let's have a look at a couple of the other really impressive runs. John Crow, we talked about him early. Into the top 10 for John Crow. He ends up 9th. But how about this right now? Skitchy Barnes plus 33. 33 moves forward for Skitchy Barnes. I said maybe top 15. P14 for Barnes from Bermuda. What a great drive.
You know what? John, Skitchy Barnes from Hamilton in Bermuda. They will be partying on the streets of Hamilton, and if you know the Caribbeans, you know how they know how to party over there.
Pour me a rum swizzle. I'll take one for him for sure.
Man.
Yes, no doubt about it. Great family, the Barnes family. Again, I had a chance to go run with them at the Bermuda Grand Prix. You can see Pizzonia there as well. There's Buddha Show. There's Forné. He's going to go around and congratulate everybody who was able to work the way. There's Brian Keck. What a run. And there's Jordan Musser, so close to getting that first win. What a fantastic weekend it was for him. And indeed, great runs for sure. Again, not sure. I think it's unofficial until anything comes down. We'll find out what happens with SuperKarts USA, but expecting that to be essentially, in fact, I've got it right here. I just got the call. Forné, Musser, Keck, Buddha Show, and Pizzonia. Those are the top 5 drivers as they finished on the racetrack, guys. What a race. It wasn't that big pack battle we had in the other ones, but it was a driver putting his head down, chasing down the leader and taking the win.
Doesn't matter. I mean, I know there was 40 plus drivers in that race, and quite rightly the race director stayed on that battle for the lead. That is because you don't know how many times you get to see one of the all-time greats in action, and that was a special race. The tension that built up there, and again, Davide Forné for nearly 30 years has been an absolute servant to this sport, and the amount of emotion came out of him, and I think we're going to see some of that Italian emotion now when Davide Forné speaks to our own David Land.
Well, Davide, that was a clinic. That was amazing. How'd you pull that off?
I don't know. I did a very good start, and after I see the pace was very good. My chassis was honestly unbelievable, and then I make all I can. I put all myself. But considering also the mistake I did last year, I want to finish the race on the correct and clean race like normally I do, and I did a good job. Yes.
That's an understatement, I would say. You were making up almost 0.2 of a second a lap. Talk us through that move there on the backside of the course, because that was just awesome.
Yes, I know if I was too close, probably he's going to defend more. And then when I was a little bit too back. But I need to try. I make maybe a little bit harder braking, but in the technical side, I did that move. I just wait to switch off, to change the gear from second to first, and I carry on more speed and enter of the corner, and in the last moment, I put the first gear, and then was good.
Davide, you have won a world championship. You've won here at Vegas before, but how much does this mean to you?
You know, like I tell you yesterday,
that's great. Davide Forné.
I want to speak.
Absolutely.
This is my life.
Hey, you can't say it any better than that. Hey, we're all getting love here. Davide Forné, back up to you guys in the booth. He can hear you, crowd.
How about that for one of the all-time karting greats here, Davide Forné, the emotions overcoming him, and you can't blame him, Henry. What a roller coaster week. He had to claw his way to the front. Watch this, the race-winning pass. Jordan Musser thought he had it covered off, and Forné finds a hole, a little bit of hard racing elbow grease, and he gets by, and it was just enough as well to trip Jordan up, so he couldn't get back to him. There's the congrats, of course, from Tom Kutscher as well. What a performance from Davide Forné.
You know something? Davide Forné, he's been for 30 years. He said something this is his life. And when he decided to step away from racing, at the CIK, at the FIA world level, I am sure that in his heart, even though he knew he could still do it, is there going to be another win? Is there going to be another big event? Have I experienced this emotion that karting brings for the final time on the biggest stage? The answer was no. He's had it there. And What an ambassador for our sport. We call karting like a stepping stone. It's not. It's a sport in its own right. You can make a career out of it. And Davide Forné, as a professional, and even there from Mr. Karting to Mr. Supernats, no, that's a great sign. That's going to be one of the defining moments, I think, of Supernats 26 so far. It's this is a sport. If you want to make a life in karting, look at Davide Forné. It is possible.
Well, you can see there the rest of the top 5 in Master Shifter getting together. And again, like you said, with Davide dialing things back, gets himself the FIA Karting KZ Masters Championship this year. and he gets himself a SuperNats title in one of the most hard-working ways possible. Rob, take it away.
Xander, thank you so much. Down here now with the drivers and master shifter, and what a race this one was. Coming home in the 5th place today, number 693, Antonio Pizzonia Jr. P5, last lap pass to get himself back onto the podium. Antonio, a solid drive, was part of a lot of the excitement up front in that one. Finishing in the 4th spot today, number 632, Robert Budashaw. They debut in this master shifter category for the Magic Kart USA driver. He's in the middle of that fight for sure, top to bottom. Driver coming home in 3rd spot here. He's in the 2nd qualifying group, but dug his way forward. P3, Brian Keck for GFC. Great run for Brian Keck, coming home in the 3rd position. Now into the 2nd spot. Awesome, almost a perfect weekend. Did everything he had to do. The guy coming home P2 today, Jordan Musser, 2nd place in Master Shifter. And it was an amazing drive, just not quite enough in terms of speed. But the driver who will go to the top of the podium, a former world champion, a race that he's always wanted to win, folks, these Supernationals. Put it now on the record for Davide Forné, the winner in Master Shifter here for the Italian Motors ITAL Kart 4 so super impressive. And look at the talent on this podium here right now. We've got a former Formula One driver, former world champion, multi-time American SuperKart USA Rotax champion in Jordan Musser, Robert Budashaw, multi-time WKA champion, of course, Brian Keck as well. He has shown so well anytime he gets in a kart. This is a stacked podium. Congratulations. But it's Davide Forné. Put the SuperNationals on the resume. He's the winner in Las Vegas.
Well, it's time to get set for the champagne showers here for Master Shifter, and a sweet sip of it as well for your top 3. Davide Forné, Jordan Musser, Brian Keck, spraying it down here in Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pro Show is all that remains. Pro X30, Pro Shifter, driver intros for Pro X30 coming your way when we come back from Vegas.